Alright guys, another luxury collection from a designer is launching. This time Paco Rabanne, which is now no longer called Paco Rabanne since he passed away. It's Rabanne, and this is La Collection Rabanne. There's 8 fragrances supposedly launching, according to an article I've read, and they've just dropped on the 18th of July, yesterday, when I'm shooting this video, to get it up for you guys so you know about this collection. I'm excited for it. Actually, I'm excited more than the Valentino, which I have a video coming soon as well. This one, actually, there's supposedly 8 fragrances, and they're exclusively selling at Selfridges, and they're supposed to roll out other places. On Selfridges, it's only 7, but I'm going to let you know about the collection coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Sebastian. We're talking about the new Paco Rabanne or Rabanne collection of fragrances, simply called La Collection Rabanne. They've dropped the Paco, which is usually happening with a lot of designer houses that lose the person that the brand is named after. They recently did it with Mugler, Terry Mugler, and a lot of other brands have dropped their first name and things like that. So it makes sense that this is now called Rabanne. And I didn't know about this collection. I was actually scrolling through Instagram, and I came on a post from a business account I follow, and it mentioned that these have just dropped, and they're exclusively selling at Selfridges, 125 ml bottles for $265, and I believe when they launch in the States, they will be $315. So you get 25 ml juice more with these bottles. $265 for 125. I feel like it's a pretty decent price for a high end. I don't know how good these are going to be or how bad they're going to be. Personally, I am not the biggest fan of Paco Rabanne, but to me, when I compare these bottles to the Valentino collection that I just shot a video on that will air next week, and also the recent Fendi, I really love these bottles. And the fragrances also do sound really, really great. So I'm quite excited for this collection. I don't know when I'll be able to get my nose on them, but I'm flying to London for the Jusbox fragrance launch that I am, creating a fragrance with Jusbox and of course Juline Rasquinet. And I'll sample them while I'm in London, as they are exclusively selling at Selfridges. So let me read you a little bit about the fragrances. This is off of the website, The Business of Fashion. Rabanne is moving its fragrance selection upmarket. It will launch La Collection Rabanne, an 8-piece range of fine fragrances, on July 18th. The scents will be sold at London's Selfridges department store, as well as on Rabanne's e-commerce site. The collection is 3 years in the making and part of the Puig-owned line's wider rebrand, which has seen it drop the Paco from its name to now be known simply as Rabanne, which is also expanding into cosmetics and add musician Troye Sivan as its makeup ambassador. However, the fine fragrance push is its boldest gambit yet, according to Vice President Jerome Leloup. It's our most ambitious launch in terms of elevation, luxury, price-wise, and the design, he said. While Rabanne already offers popular fragrances in the prestige bracket, such as 1 Million and Invictus, which are under $150 for their smaller sizes, La Collection Rabanne scents sit firmly in the niche luxury price band, with a 125 ml bottle retailing for $315. When you buy a niche fragrance, you want something unique in terms of the bottle design, said Leloup, adding that customers want something that will stand out. The niche customer is very much about status. The bottles feature a motif known as the 8, originally created and popularized by Paco Rabanne in the 1980s. Still, you don't just buy a bottle because it's cute, you have to really fall in love with the juice, said Leloup. To create the scents, the brand has also recruited 6 top perfumers to create the scents, including Fanny and Fabrice Pellegrin, who have created perfumes for the niche brands such as Penhaligon's, Frederic Malle, and L'Artisan Parfumeur. The resulting fragrances include Rose 1969, which has notes of black pepper and patchouli, and Midnight Sex, which smells like coconut and orange blossom. Leloup said the brand eschewed consumer testing in favor of leaning on the discernment of its perfumers. We went with our heart and our gut, he added. More retail locations are set to follow the Selfridges launch. In the near future, Rabanne will stage a Fashion Week takeover of Italian department store La Rinascente in September. Additions such as complimentary accessories are slated for the coming years. We really want to tie it all back to Mr. Rabanne and tell the story of fashion and beauty and legacy of the house, said Leloup. So that's basically that article. I have it linked in the info box. And yes, between Fendi, Valentino, and now Paco Rabanne or Rabanne, I much prefer the bottles here. What are you guys' thoughts? Really like the idea of the bottles, and the fact that they're also 125 ml, which is kind of similar to the YSL Le Vestiaire collection. They're 125 ml as well. Recently, also a brand came to me and told me, I won't say the brand because this is kind of confidential, but they are known for their fragrances being in 125 ml bottles, and they plan on changing them to 100 because it makes them easier to get them on the plane, because you can carry 100 ml of juice on a plane, but you can't with 125. So they're apparently doing their bottles over. But let's go to the fragrances. I only have info on 7 of the 8. This article says 8. Selfridges only displays 7. By the time maybe this video airs, there might be the 8th fragrance there. I don't know. I'll just add it into the info box. But the first fragrance is After Club. I'm doing this in alphabetical order. It's considered a woody aromatic amber. All of the fragrances come in eau de parfum concentration. This fragrance is created by Aurelien Guichard, who has his own brand, Matière Première, who's soon going to be launching extrait de parfum concentrations of the fragrances that they have. But again, 125 ml eau de parfum, selling at Selfridges for $265, selling elsewhere in the USA for $315. And if you go through Selfridges, they have that yearly shipping fee. You pay once and you don't have to pay shipping for the rest of the year. And also go through Rakuten to get your cash back from there as well. So After Club features notes of lavender, vanilla duo, labdanum resin, and a bespoke amber. So a lot of the base notes mention bespoke. So it's a new term they're using to explain notes in these fragrances. This is considered a woody aromatic amber, which is obviously sounding like that. Also, it sounds a bit like maybe Caron Paranum de Caron, in that kind of direction. Lavender, vanilla, but just the idea of a warm amber vanillic touches with aromatic touches of the lavender. Sounds nice. It's been done before. Let's see what Aurelien Guichard will do with this. But if this one sounds great to you, let me know. It's called After Club. Maybe you go out dancing and then you come home, you want some coziness. And I do find lavender and vanilla to be quite cozy. And it's the kind of style of fragrance I would wear to, if I want to wear fragrances to bed, because it does soothe you and, you know, comfort you and relax you. So I'm curious to get my nose on this one. So the next fragrance is called ARMURE Mara. I have no idea what this means, but a lot of the times, a lot of the fragrances are named after clothing and items that the brand sells. If that's the case with this, let me know. This is considered a Chypre fruity woody fragrance. Once again, eau de parfum. This is created by Alienor Massenet, who used to do a lot of the Memo Paris fragrances. Again, it's 125 ml currently at Selfridges for $265. In the USA, it'll be $315. See the price difference? It's like 50% approximately less. Not 50%, but about $50 is what I should say. This features notes of velvet strawberry, jasmine absolute, bourbon vanilla, patchouli. So it's a Chypre fruity woody, strawberry and fragrances. It's a bit tough to do. It doesn't have a very distinct smell. Sometimes it goes kind of girly, like Bath and Body Works, like strawberries, which can be a turnoff, but most likely Alienor Massenet knows what she's doing, and she's not going to put something like that in this fragrance. I'm always interested in smelling Chypre fragrances. This is a Chypre fruity woody fragrance, but it seems like it has a vanilla, quite a bit of vanilla as well. So we shall see how it is. But let me know if this one sounds good to you. It's ARMURE Mara. So the next fragrance I'm talking about is called Mesh Metal, and this is considered an aromatic amber musk. This is eau de parfum concentration, just like all the other fragrances. And this one is created by Fanny. Man, she's created fragrances for now the Fendi collection, the Valentino collection, and then now the new Paco Rabanne collection. Once again, $265 for 125 ml at Selfridges, and then $315 in the US dollars. This features notes of lime, Pellegrin, Bigarade, orange blossom, and bespoke ambergris. This one sounds kind of a musky. I'm assuming they're using an accord of ambergris because ambergris is extremely expensive. And when you use the real stuff, it can be very screechy, metallic, and animalic. I don't know how this one's going to be combining lime. Lime tends to be a bit cheap smelling to me. Not a lot is used in a lot of fragrances. You have to use the right amount. And hopefully it's not overdosed here. Maybe it's the juicy part of the citruses that they're using lime instead of bergamot. But it has the Pellegrin Bigarade and then also the orange blossom. So they're focusing on a lot of citruses, and then they've got that ambergris. I'm curious to get my nose on it. I do like what she does as fragrances. Sometimes they're not as good. but sometimes they turn out to be really, really great. So Mesh Metal is a fragrance created by Fanny. God, I'm forgetting her name, and I speak about her quite a bit. The next fragrance is called Midnight Sex. Talk about a name for a fragrance. This is a brand, Rabanne is under Puig, and also Charlotte Tilbury fragrances that recently launched also that I did a video on, actual with the fragrances, is also under Puig, and they had a fragrance called More Sex, I believe. So I guess the word sex is getting around in the fragrance world. So this is considered a floral, woody, fruity fragrance. Once again, eau de parfum. This is created by Veronique Nyberg, 125 ml, 265 at Selfridges, and 315 in the USA when they premiere here. So I believe Veronique Nyberg created or was one of the perfumers behind Invictus, which is a Paco Rabanne fragrance or Rabanne fragrance. And if you guys don't know, Invictus is one of my most despised fragrances. I can't stand that stuff. Although the elixir is quite good for a designer, but the original, nauseating fragrance for me. But Midnight Sex has notes of coconut extract, tuberose absolute, orange blossom, sandalwood. So considered a floral, woody, fruity. Seems like it's going to be a solar, beachy fragrance. The idea was coconut and tuberose and orange blossom together. Solar notes, beachy notes, creamy sandalwood, maybe a bit like suntan lotion, who knows. Again, I'm really excited about this collection more than the Valentino and the Fendi, so we shall see how good these are. Maybe they might put in potency in these fragrances and they'll be beastly, even though they're from the designers. And the next fragrance is called Night Soul, and another fragrance created by Aurelien Guichard. He's created two here, which is kind of interesting. This is a woody amber fragrance, eau de parfum concentration, 125 ml, 265 at Selfridges, or USD price is $3.15. This has notes of fig cream, Palo Santo, cedarwood, sandalwood, tonka beans, amber woods, a bit creamy, maybe a bit green because of the fig cream. Is it fig milk or is it fig cream? Is it the fruit? So they're saying fig cream, so we shall see what direction it goes into. Maybe it's a combination of the fruit, the fig milk, the fig leaves, fig tree, like an accord or something. But this seems quite boring. It's an overdose of a lot of woods with a kind of an ambery base, and of course that figgy cream that's up top. We shall see how it is. Let me know if this one sounds good to you. Put a comment down below. And then we've got a fragrance created by Fabrice Pellegrin. Remember, I read his name in the article. This is a woody leather. It's called Oud Montaigne. So it's eau de parfum, 125 ml, 265 at Selfridges, USD price is $3.15. This features notes of cardamom, blue plum liqueur, cedarwood, bespoke oud leather. So Fabrice Pellegrin has a fragrance for YSL Le Vestiaire collection called Queer, the 2023 version, which I absolutely really love. It's an ozonic take on leather with violet leaves, or maybe it's ozonic notes, but to me it acts like violet leaves. So I think that he would do a good job with this one, and I like the sound of the blue plum liqueur. I mean, boozy plum with cardamom, that kind of spicy aromatic freshness that comes from cardamom, and then of course the cedar and then the oud leather thing. I really like the idea of this, and even though I'm bored of oud, I'm really looking forward to smelling that, whatever they've done with the blue plum liqueur in this fragrance. But let me know if you're a fan of the fragrances of Fabrice Pellegrin. Have you sampled Queer from YSL? The 2023 edition, it's quite a good fragrance. I really enjoy that as a designer fragrance. I've got a short on the channel if you want to go catch that. And the last fragrance is Rose 1969. Again, there's 8 fragrances. There was only 7 on the Selfridges website, and I couldn't find the 8th anywhere. This is considered a floral amber spice, and this is a fragrance created by Christophe Reynaud. He's the only Givaudan perfumer. We've got Simrise with Alienor Massenet, we've got IFF with Fanny, and then of course Firmenich with Fabrice Pellegrin. But Veronique Nyberg, where's she working nowadays? Is it Simrise as well? Did I forget any of the perfumers? So same price points with these, and this one has notes of lychee fruit, black pepper, rosa damascena, modern amber, patchouli. This once again sounds like a Chypre style. It also sounds like a fragrance he created for the Christian Louboutin collection of fragrances, and also it's under Puig. So it sounds like a repeat to me, but only my nose will tell if I've sampled something. Again, all the fragrances do sound a bit like I've tried before. Let's see what they do with the collection. And between the three fashion houses, Fendi versus Valentino versus Paco Rabanne or Rabanne now, this collection sounds the most exciting to me. What are your thoughts? Let me know. And what do you think about the bottles? I really love the bottles myself. And I also love the fact that it's more juice in the bottles, not like the other designers giving us 100 ml for around the same price in USD. So let me know your thoughts on this collection. Put a comment down below. And that's all I have for you today. I'm excited for this collection. I will get my nose on these when I'm in London for the Jusbox fragrance launch. And just to reiterate what's going on there, I worked on a fragrance with Jusbox and the perfumer Juline Rasquinet. We are doing an event on the 29th. Originally it was 6 to 7 or 5 to 6, I can't remember now. And there were 30 slots that HARRODS put together. It's at HARRODS, obviously. And that slot, that 1 hour sold out. There was only 30 spots available. So they dropped another 30. And there's a few more seats available, although there's about 25. I haven't officially announced it. I'm just mentioning it in videos. So if you're in London and you'd like to meet me along with Juline Rasquinet and also the owners and founders of Jusbox Fragrances and learn about the fragrance I created with them, then I'll have a link in the info box for you to go register. They're charging, it's HARRODS. HARRODS charges £30 for the event. It's an hour-long event. But either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.